They are among the most powerful, iconic creatures ever to walk the earth. Tigers, silent hunters of the jungle. Lions, kings of open grasslands. Leopards, masters of stealth and shadow. Cheetahs, the fastest land animals ever known. For centuries, big cats have ruled ecosystems, inspired legends, and commanded the deepest awe of human civilizations. But now, something unthinkable is happening. Their populations are collapsing. Their habitats are vanishing. And their future? It may lie not in the wild, but in laboratories. Across the globe, big cats are disappearing faster than ever recorded in modern history. Over the past century, the wild tiger population has dropped by more than 95%. Once roaming across 13 countries, they now survive in scattered pockets of Southeast Asia. Lions have vanished from 90% of their historical range, with fewer than 20,000 remaining. Leopards, though more elusive, are declining at alarming rates, some subspecies facing extinction within a single human lifetime. Cheetahs are now largely confined to isolated reserves, struggling with inbreeding and human encroachment. Even jaguars in the Americas are under siege from poaching, deforestation, and expanding development. The verdict is clear. We are not simply witnessing population declines. We are watching the collapse of wild big cats as a force in nature. Why is this happening? The reasons are both familiar and overwhelming. Habitat loss remains the greatest threat, driven by agriculture, mining, palm oil, and infrastructure. Every day, forests are cleared, rivers rerouted, and grasslands bulldozed for human use. Roads carved through migration corridors. Villages expand into former hunting grounds. Industrial sprawl leaves no room for predators. Where big cats once roamed freely, they now dodge traffic, livestock, and fences. And where they're not crowded out, they're hunted down. Despite international bans, illegal wildlife trade continues to thrive. Big cats are poached for their bones, teeth, pelts, and so-called medicinal properties. Cubs are trafficked into exotic pet markets. Adult lions are killed in fenced hunting reserves under the guise of sport. And when big cats kill livestock out of desperation, they are often shot on sight. They're not seen as endangered, just dangerous. At the same time, climate change is altering every natural law they rely on. Seasonal patterns are shifting. Water sources are drying up. Prey animals are migrating earlier, or not at all. Entire ecosystems are transforming faster than predators can adapt. And for species that rely on stealth, timing, and territory, this isn't just disruption, it's collapse. In response, conservationists are turning to the last frontier, science. Cryopreservation. Genetic engineering. Artificial insemination. Lab-grown embryos. Surrogate mothers. Stem cell cloning. What was once the realm of science fiction is quickly becoming science fact. In 2023, researchers cloned an endangered Przewalski's horse from 40-year-old frozen DNA. In China, scientists successfully cloned an Arctic wolf using beagle surrogates. And now, similar efforts are being proposed for leopards, cheetahs, and even tigers. Using skin cells, scientists can reverse engineer sperm. Using tissue samples, they can recreate embryos. Using CRISPR, they could potentially edit disease resistance into future generations. And with synthetic womb technology on the horizon, we may not even need surrogate animals at all. But this leads to a difficult, uncomfortable question. If we can build big cats in labs, will we ever save them in the wild? Will future lions be assembled in facilities instead of born beneath acacia trees? Will tigers exist only in sterile enclosures, genetically perfect but culturally extinct? Will cheetahs sprint across treadmills under fluorescent lights, never chasing prey again? Because wildness is not genetic. It's behavioral. It's learned. It's lived. Big cats do not simply exist in nature, they shape it. They regulate prey populations, spread nutrients, and maintain ecological balance. Remove them, and ecosystems spiral out of control. Let them survive only in laboratories, and we create a version of nature without teeth. And what about ethics? Is it right to recreate species we allowed to disappear? Are we preserving them, or manufacturing replicas? If the lab-born tiger never hunts, never prowls, never raises cubs in the forest, is it still a tiger? Or is it just a biological shadow, a monument to what we lost? Conservation, real conservation, means more than genetic survival. It means ecosystem survival. It means fighting to preserve space, not just species. It means protecting not just the DNA, but the world that gives it meaning. Still, some scientists argue that we don't have time for ideology. They say we are past the tipping point. That many big cats will be gone from the wild within decades. And that labs may be the only place left to preserve their bloodlines. These tools, they say, aren't replacements, but lifeboats. They're not about avoiding extinction, they're about buying time. Time to reforest. Time to reconnect habitats. Time to find a better way forward. But here's the truth. These lifeboats only matter if there's somewhere left to sail. If the lands remain broken, the water polluted, and the prey wiped out, where will the cloned tiger go? Where will the lab-grown lion hunt? Where will the next generation of wild cheetahs be released, if there's no wilderness left to receive them? The future of big cats stands at a crossroads. One path leads to enclosures, databases, and engineered survival. A world where lions and tigers exist, technically, but only as scientific artifacts. The other path leads to wild landscapes restored and protected. To policies that fund coexistence, not just captivity. To conservation strategies that empower indigenous communities, local rangers, and ecological stewards. To a future where the roar of the wild is not a recording, but a living, breathing, echoing force that still shapes the world around it. So, will big cats only exist in labs? Not if we act. Not if we choose. Not if we care. Because the question isn't about technology. It's about values. Do we want a future that remembers wildness? Or one that replaces it? The lions are watching. The forests are waiting. And the decision is ours.